Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. McCollum staying with him. Spins, gets inside. Left-handed off the glass. Oh, what a sweet move.
Giddey, tough spot. Backdoor. What a pass. What a play. And J-Dub picks the pocket of Trae Young. He'll take it himself.
This is Udart. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up, and welcome to the Uncontested Podcast post-game edition as the Thunder once again in the win column with a 134-115 resounding win over the Los Angeles Clippers in a game that had so many exciting moments, so many highlights. I'm going to dive all into it here in just a moment. Before I do, though, I'm your host for the evening, Jacob Niffen. And we are brought to you by the Blue Wire Podcast Network. If you do not already, make sure you follow us on social media. We are on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We are all over the place. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube, I would highly encourage you to do so. We love having the live chat going, having you all tune in on YouTube and watch us and discuss as we podcast, and then the comments afterwards. Really, really fun. So make sure that you are signed in and subscribed to the YouTube channel. Also, sub to us wherever you download your podcast. Drop that 5-star rating. Leave a little comment. That would mean a ton to us. Be a nice little holiday gift for the uncontested dudes. So make it happen. 134-115 against the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm going to dive all into it. Again, if you are already in the chat tonight, which I have a lot of folks, so I appreciate that, drop your comments, drop your questions. I'll read them on air tonight. Getting this one started a little late. Podcast folks don't care. But driving home tonight, there were a couple of dogs, not Chet Holmgren and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, actual dogs, who were walking down the middle of the street. And these scared little pups were all wet because it's raining in Oklahoma City. And I was worried about them. And so I stopped and picked them up and called their owner and got them back home. So game got delayed because I had to do my good service deed of the day. Speaking of dogs, I think the Oklahoma City Thunder got a few of them. Big theme from tonight. For me, there's a handful of themes, but I want to, if you guys have ever listened to me on a podcast, I love to get down into the numbers. I love to talk about, efficiency and averages and coverages and all this stuff. I want to zoom out for a minute. A lot of times on this podcast, I think the uncontested guys, we're so deep into this team that we like to get in and nitpick the little things and look at these micro moves and yada, yada. We need to zoom out. Zoom out to 30,000 feet and just take a moment. Like last night on the show, we talked a lot about like trades, because that's the talk of the Thunder right now is should they make a trade? I just want to take a moment and zoom out and really appreciate what we're seeing right now. Because what we're seeing is special, guys. It really is. Like, I went to the game with my mother tonight. And on the way back to the car, I was thinking about it. In the 2009-2010 season, the Thunder went from the prior year being really bad to winning 50 games, playing the Los Angeles Lakers, who would be the eventual champs, the Bynum, Gasol, Kobe Bryant Los Angeles Lakers, in the first round, took them to 6 games, lost game 6 off of a tip-in, off of Pau Gasol, a Kobe Bryant miss, and a Pau Gasol tip-in. that was the arrival of that team. Like, it was undeniable. That team arrived. They made their statement with 3 really young guys, a core big 3, and that basically just said, hey, we're here and we're not going anywhere. And they proceeded. They didn't win a title, obviously. They did make the finals, but they proceeded to be a powerhouse for the next 7 seasons. This season feels like that arrival. If you remember back at the beginning of the transition time for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Sam Presti had said, the next time we make the postseason, we want it to be an arrival, not an appearance. We don't even have to get to the postseason, guys, because I'm telling you right now, this team has arrived. The stuff they're doing, the things they're doing, the way they're playing is special. And I just want to take a moment and really appreciate what we're seeing. I think a lot of people who listen to this podcast, who tune into the live stream, are people who are really invested in the NBA and really invested in this Thunder team. And just naturally, we get down into the weeds with everything. But let's take a moment and just appreciate what we have, which is a really special team full of young guys who are playing their asses off and are just incredibly fun. Like, this is one of the most fun moments of an entire franchise when you realize, oh shit, we've got it. And they're so young and everything in front of you is just like so beautiful and like limitless. It's a really, really, really fun team. And what they're doing right now, last year they were projected to win like 23 games and they beat that by 17. This season they were projected to win 43 games. They might beat that by 10 to 15 because right now they're on about a 55, 56, 57 win pace. That is dumb. They shouldn't be here, but they are so god dang good. So just appreciate this team. I had a blast with this game tonight. 134-115, the Thunder beat the Los Angeles Clippers. And kind of the reason I went on that rant is because tonight's kind of poetic. Three former big-time players of Oklahoma City in Russell Westbrook, Paul George, James Harden, in town. And it's the new big 3 who made the statement. Now, some caveats. The Clippers were on a second game of a back-to-back. That's fair. They played in Dallas last night and won. Kawhi Leonard missed tonight with an injured hip. That is also, like, that's a fair caveat. But the Thunder can only play who was in front of them. And the teams that have been in front of them, they've been beating. Right? You can say some stuff has been lucky. Like that Denver game with the Shai game winner. Thunder probably lose that game 7 times out of 10. But the execution down the stretch, that's such a big thing for such a young team. So much maturity there. Tonight, the Thunder took the lead, and it was like, you know, those videos where like you see the older brother with his arm out, and he's got his hand on his younger brother's head, and the younger brother's swinging at him and just can't reach him because the length is too long. That's what the Thunder did tonight. They got the Clippers at arm's reach, just never let them back. Now, the Clippers did come back in the third quarter. I think James Harden hit a shot to put the Clippers up 1. And then the highlight of my life happened. As Chet Holmgren went in, I believe it was against Zubats. Drove in, spun, gave the pump fake, the up and under. And I was like, oh, we've seen this up and under in this layup before. And then the man decided to toss the ball off the glass for an alley-oop to himself and dunked it. And I thought, there's no way this son of a bitch just did this. There is no way he just did this. From that point on, the Thunder went on to outscore the Clippers by 20 for the rest of the game, won the game by 19. I want to make sure I got this number right. a third quarter where the Thunder scored 45 points. I believe the Thunder went on a 35-18 run after that Chet alley-oop to himself and just absolutely dismantled the red-hot Los Angeles Clippers, who had won 9 straight, longest streak in the NBA, and shut it down. Incredible performance all over the board by the Thunder. Let's talk about a few players. I thought Josh Giddey was in the midst of having his best half of basketball this season. Josh played poorly in Denver, played great against Memphis, played great against Sacramento Kings. The things that he was doing tonight, he was physical, he was confident, he was aggressive, Josh was doing everything you wanted from him. 14 minutes tonight. Josh had 11 points on 4 of 5 shooting, 3 of 3 from 3, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, a disgusting little behind the back pass to Shai. Everything was cooking for Josh. And you started thinking, Nick and our co-host Nick in our chat said, if Josh gets back to normal Josh, do you guys know how good this team can be this season? Lo and behold, right after that, Josh, Carrie mentions in the chat, Josh threw down a dunk too, which you don't typically see. Josh drove in and stepped on a wet spot on the floor, slid about a foot, it looked like, and then rolled that ankle really bad and was in some pretty serious pain on the floor. Was able to get up, got help getting off. Thunder called a timeout, went straight to the locker room, was ruled out the rest of the game with a left ankle sprain and would not return. We will wait to see what the prognosis is. Typically, if you've ever played basketball, you know this. Overnight, that thing will swell up like a freaking water balloon, and they'll do some MRIs and determine the severity of the sprain. The way it looked, I would think 5 to 10 games for Josh. It was a pretty nasty ankle sprain. So hopefully Josh is okay. Then the collective Thunder fan base all shit their pants whenever J-Dub went down early in the third quarter, tweaked that ankle pretty good. He ended up coming back and being awesome. Whenever he would sub out, he would go over to the stationary bike and pedal to keep some motion in that ankle to not let it sit still and swell. I would not be surprised if J-Dub wakes up tomorrow and that ankle is pretty swollen as well. He rolled it pretty good. If you told me both Josh and J-Dub are out on Saturday against the Lakers, I would not be surprised. Hopefully J-Dub's okay, but we'll see. J-Dub was awesome tonight. But I think the story of the night, Shai was incredible. Josh was incredible. Lou Dort was incredible. 21 points on 12 shots. 3 rebounds, 4 assists. A plus 20. He was incredible. I didn't know Aaron Wiggins was a plus 22 tonight. That's impressive. We got to talk about Chet Holmgren, guys. Because Chet Holmgren had 23 points on 9 of 11 field goals. 6 rebounds, 7 assists, no steals or blocks. Let's start with the no steals, no blocks. After a run of, 15 blocks in 2 games? Chet had 0 blocks tonight. But go back and watch the game. There were so many times where I watched a Norm Powell or a Terrence Mann or a Amir Coffey or a James Harden drive into the paint and seemingly look like they had like a little pull-up or a layup and pivot and turn and pass the ball out to the perimeter because Chet Holmgren was looming. Like the Chet effect is starting to become real now. People are realizing you can't try this dude. Because if you try, it ends up bad for you. I'm okay with no blocks when it means that dudes aren't coming into the paint. I mean, he was awesome tonight defensively. The Clippers tried to counter it by going small, and the Thunder had Chet guard, I believe, Terrence Mann. And Chet's fine guarding on the perimeter. And on the flip side, Chet just took him to work. Like, those dudes were too small. So many drives and post-ups, and using that length to just get to the rim by Chet tonight Really awesome stuff. I've been tooting this horn for a while, and tonight really just put it like front and center for me. I think Chet's going to be an all-star. I think he's going to make the West All-Star team, and I have no doubt he is going to be the Rookie of the Year. Wemby's good, but what Chet's doing is otherworldly. Wemby's numbers are fine. His percentages aren't great. Wemby's playing for a team that's won 4 games. Chet might be the number 2 guy on a team that's 18-8 and the 2nd seed in the West. That's significant. And the 7 assists? The 7 assists for Chet Holmgren tonight. The game is slowing down offensively for him. There's some moves. He had multiple times where he would drive in on one of those smaller guards or wings. They would throw a second guy in there. And then Chet would just, with being 7'1", would just find the pass over the top to somebody who was cutting and set dudes up. He had 7 assists. He probably should have had 8 or 9 or 10 because some of the passes guys got fouled on or missed a shot. The playmaking was next level for Chet tonight. I remember the night they drafted Chet. I remember watching him in Summer League. I remember all last season saying, and they don't even have Chet yet. And they don't even have Chet yet. We're getting to see it tonight. And this season. And guys, it's better than any of us thought. We all thought he was going to be good. I thought this level Chet was like going to be year 3 Chet. And it's year 1 Chet. He's special, man. He is special. The things he does on offense look a little KD-ish. The things he does on defense look a little early career Kevin Garnett-ish. This guy might be like a 10-time All-Star. Like an 8-time All-NBA type of guy for his career. An MVP candidate. He is special. And this is year 1. How good is he going to be when he's 27, 28? It blows my mind how good he is. I also got to talk about J-Dub. J-Dub, I haven't even talked about Shai yet, and Shai had 31, 8, 4, 4, and 2. J-Dub ended the game a plus 24. He only played 29 minutes. That's because the Thunder whooped the Clippers' ass and all the starters sat late in the game. And that injury, he was out for a while. He had 13 points on 11 shots, which isn't great, but 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. And maybe more important to me, J-Dub guarded Paul George for most of the night and then got the Harden matchup at other points in time. In the game before this, he guarded Jaren Jackson Jr. And the game before that, he started on Aaron Gordon. Saturday, he's going to guard LeBron James. He's a second-year player, and he has been so freaking good defensively. His size, his strength, his length, his versatility. These are the kind of guys you dream of drafting, and the Thunder got him at 12. He is insane. And when I say like, he guarded Paul George and he was so good. Paul George was 7 of 4 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3, 22 points on 14 shots, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and a block. Paul George hit some absurd shots tonight. Guys in his grill, jumping with him, right in his face, hand in the face, and was just splat. Like, Paul George was insane tonight. And I thought it was one of J-Dub's best defensive performances of the season. That's not even to say what he does on the offensive end, which if he gets left, you're done. You are cooked if you let J-Dub get one step going left. I mean, my God. He's been so good. He's been so good. Tonight was no exception. I mentioned Shai and his stat line. One thing that jumped out to me about Shai tonight is I think back to some of the previous Clippers and Lakers matchups where Shai and Russ played. and Russ would overpower him. Russ would go down in the paint and like use his strength and use his physicality. And Shai was a little scrawnier, and he'd push Shai around. Didn't happen tonight. I mean, Shai worked anyone who they put in front of him. They started with Terrence Mann on Shai to start the game, and I was like, why do you want those problems, LA? Like, put somebody else on. You don't want you got to put Paul George on him. You don't want those problems. Just another masterclass by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander tonight. The 31 points on 11 of 25, so a little inefficient. Took a lot of threes, took 6 of them. I thought they were good threes. They just didn't rattle in. But the 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. I mean, he sunned James Harden at the rim, which was incredible. He was awesome. Josh Giddey, I already talked about, looked great. Shout out Lou Dort. 8 of 12 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 21 points. I thought his drive game was wonderful. 4 assists for Dort is wonderful. Dort was awesome stepping up when Giddey had to leave the game. Other guys that got minutes tonight, like Kenrich Williams was good. Isaiah Joe had a very Isaiah Joe game, but he was minus 11, which is very surprising. Aaron Wiggins was really good. Kaysen, I thought, played good defense, but it's going to take time for Kaysen offensively, I think, and that's okay. Jang played only 8 minutes. Jay Will played only 6 minutes. I think part of that is because of Kenrich Williams playing so much that the Clippers like to go small for some reason. When they had Daniel Tice on the bench, who Tice had a really good game last night against Dallas. And then Shai made Tice look like a little boy. Took him to work. He had a crossover and a mid-range pull-up in the next possession, just straight. Like Tice was standing with the ball over his head, and Shai just said, I'll take that, and ripped it from him, went down to the other end, dunked it, should have got a foul. Shai's awesome. Shai is so goddamn good, dude. It's insane. This team is good, guys. Like, we've talked about how this stretch between now and like New Year's is a really tough stretch for them. I'll pull up their games real quick, and how going maybe 500 would be a really good sign. Well, let's go back to the Nuggets game. Thunder at Nuggets win. Thunder versus Grizz win. Thunder versus Clippers win. They got the Lakers coming up Saturday. Day after Christmas, they got the Timberwolves. That's a tough game. Back-to-back with the Knicks. They got the Nuggets again, the Nets, and then the Celtics. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. They could go 4-2. And if they go 4-2, that would put them at, I want to make sure I got the record right. 4-2 would put them at 22-10. That's dumb. They shouldn't be this good this early. We're really seeing something special. And I just want to make sure this holiday season, we appreciate what the Thunder are giving us. Now, I'm going to hit a few of these comments in the chat before I get off tonight. Once again, I just can't express how much I appreciate you guys tuning in, listening, watching the live stream. Let's hit some of these. Joseph says 3-0 is looking good, Jacob. I predicted the Thunder would go 3-0 this week. You're god dang right. Joseph also tells everyone to hit the like button. Seconded. Tristan, who's a former student of mine, said, first game I went to this season, and the atmosphere was insane. It was a wonderful atmosphere. Packed house. I imagine Saturday will be packed as well. Russ got a wonderful ovation, which was great to see. The crowd has been wonderful this year, especially a crowd where most people can't catch the game because either the Bally app shits the bed, or they don't have Cox, or they can't click the 50 billion buttons it takes to watch the game on Bally. People are still showing out, which is awesome. Ethan says the Russ love was awesome. Agreed. Tristan wants Chet in the dunk contest. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that'd be cool. All-Star, Shai and Chet. I think we might get that this year, folks. I really do. Brendan saw the three amigos tonight, me, Taylor, and JD. at the Paycom Center tonight. So shout out to Brennan. Zach echoes the sentiment that I felt as well. He said, awesome win, but wish Kawhi played so we could see them at full strength. I wish so too, Zach. I really do. I wanted to see this Thunder go up against the full strength, hottest team in the NBA. But you can only control what the team in front of you does, and the Thunder won it. So you love to see that. Ethan says the maturity says it all, especially for being so young. A lot of that credit goes to Mark Daigneault and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I think, for real. Mark has done a phenomenal job with this team. So that's you got to give the coaching staff a lot of credit. Raw the Messenger, 10 games above 500 before Christmas. We're eating good, y'all. I can't believe that, man. I cannot believe that. I don't know where they were at Christmas last year, if they were up to 500 yet or not. But man, so good. Connor thinks the team could get to 60 wins. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Dat Boy says, we deserve this. You're freaking right, Dat Boy. We do deserve this. Tyler asks if I'll be at the game Saturday. That is a yes. Blake asks about if Giddey is okay. I bet we'll find out more tomorrow at post-practice media availability, Blake. My assumption is no, because that was a nasty ankle roll. Like I said earlier, I'd bet 5 to 10 games probably. What else do we have? A Smoot making fun of JD in the chat. You always love to see that. My man Nick Crane, my producer, texting me in the middle of the show to tell me that they were 14-18 on December 21st last season. They are 18-8 December 21st this season. Pretty big jump. Pretty big jump. Shout out to Nick Crane with the live stats straight to my texting inbox, my messages. My man. What else do we have here? I'm scrolling. So a lot of the comments about Josh's ankle. Chipsy says, Chet the Amish assassin. I don't know how much I like that. That's kind of weird, bro. Hey, Smoot with a great question. What starting lineup without Josh and J-Dub? Well, Smoot, let's pray to every deity known to man that it's just Josh and not J-Dub, because that would be bad. I would assume with Josh out, it's Kaysen. But we had a fun chat in our private chat today, in our uncontested Slack. But if it should be Isaiah Joe for the spacing, and Isaiah's been playing great defense. That's an interesting one. Removing Josh, the lineup gets even smaller, just a little worrisome. Lakers play kind of big, so that'll be interesting to see. I kind of think with Josh out, maybe they slide Isaiah in for the shooting, the spacing. If they're both out, I kind of think Kenrich for the size. I kind of think Kenrich. Tyler says it doesn't matter as long as you got Shai and Chet. You're feeling pretty good. Lou got all the benefit on the Harden defense effect. Man, Harden did not want to be guarded by Lou tonight. That is for sure. Tyler says Chet will have 30 if Giddey and J-Dub are out. Shit, Chet almost had 30 tonight, brother. Nick coming back in with more producer stats. He says the Thunder could lose 14 straight and still have a better record than they did on January 10th last season when they got 18 wins. They ain't losing 14 straight. The only team losing 14 straight is the Detroit Pistons, and they might lose 114 straight because that team is straight ass cheeks. Oh my God, the Pistons suck. Tonight was their last chance to win one against the Utah Jazz, who were on the second night of a back-to-back, third game in four nights, missing their entire starting lineup, and they still beat the Detroit Pistons. If I'm the Pistons, I am calling dudes out in the stands to play basketball because those guys suck. Oh my God, they're bad. They are bad. Bad. Poofball says, is there a reason why Bally isn't giving the option to replay the game? Or is it Bally being Bally? It is Bally being Bally. Some news about Bally. The league about a month or two ago, said that all Bally contracts end at the end of this year. Even if a team had like a 5-year deal, Bally is done at the end of the season. Now, a team can renegotiate with Bally and get back on them if they want. But recent news is that Amazon Prime is becoming an investor in Diamond Sports, who owns Bally. So if the Thunder do want to re-up with Bally, there's a chance that next season's games would be on Prime. A little more accessible, I think, because Prime is $15 a month and you get the benefits of like Prime shipping. You get all the Prime shows and streaming service, and you would get Thunder basketball for $15 a month, where the Bally app is freaking $20, which is ridiculous. I still hope the Thunder just go the local station route and just like put that shit on News 9 or something. That'd be dope. Do what the Suns are doing. What else do I want to mention here? People mentioning the ovation for Russ, which was awesome. Jacob, do you still think Lou's play was a mirage? He's played really well over his past 5. I think Lou Dort's offense is like a roller coaster. There's some up, there's some down, there's some loop-de-loops. There's sometimes, when the roller coaster goes down real fast and get that little tickly feeling like in your tummy. Sometimes it's that. It's all over the place. Carey says Chet might have a quadruple double at some point in his career: points, rebounds, assists, and blocks. If that happens, I will do something ridiculous. I just have no clue what it is. Some people mentioning SGA should be first team all defense. I think that might. I don't know if he'll get first team. Second team's in the running. He's been awesome. What else do we got? Taylor's in the chat talking some trash. Shout out to my guy, Taylor. We got a super chat. Why are you guys giving us free money? We're just a bunch of assholes with microphones. Hayden says, miss playing basketball on Saturday morning. Love the pod. Hayden used to hoop with us whenever we had our Saturday morning hoop sessions. Shout out, Hayden. Appreciate that, Hayden. I will use that $2 to buy me a large Coke Zero vanilla from Swig. So thank you very much. Don't tell the other podcast hosts I am taking the $2. Anything else? If the Thunder are the 1 seed by the All-Star weekend, is Chet a lock to be an All-Star? Dude, I think he will be. He's so good. It's ridiculous. Someone says Prime's NFL presentation is really good, really in all caps. I don't know if this is sarcasm or not. A Stag 59. I do not watch NFL. I definitely do not watch NFL on Amazon Prime on Thursday night. So I don't know if you are being sarcastic or if you're being legit. So we'll see. Thoughts on the game against the Wolves? It's going to be interesting. It's in Paycom, so being home is good. Chet has responded really well after he plays somebody for the first time. So that will be interesting. I think Minnesota has number 1 defense in the league for a reason. So I think that Chet getting his second crack will be interesting to see. A bunch of people trash talking Bally. People saying it wasn't sarcasm. It is very good. Okay. I wasn't trying to call you out, A Stag. I honestly didn't know. A lot of people saying the presentation is really good. So you love that. El Sombra Regio 7 says if KD decided he wanted to come back to OKC in the summer and re-sign on a team-friendly deal, what would you give for it? I don't know. You can sign as a free agent. That's fine. Come on over. Join the club. You can be the 4th guy in the starting lineup. You get your shots after Shai and Chet and Dub. I'm okay with that. That's about all in the chat. So thank you, guys. Oh, I got one more. That's a fun one. Who would you want to see OKC play in the first round of the playoffs? Can I say Golden State? Thunder have been really good against Golden State. The toxicity of a Thunder-Houston matchup would be fun. Don't want to see the Kings. Don't want to see the Nuggets. I'm worried about Phoenix, guys. Playing Phoenix might be a good thing for the Thunder. That might be a fun matchup. Not New Orleans would be fine. Ray says the Wolves. I don't know. I mean, Ant's special, but Shai's special. Wolves will be a fun matchup. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the podcast. If you're on the live stream, which there are a metric crap ton of people on the live stream at 11 o'clock on a Thursday night, thank you so much. Programming note, this is the last show until next Wednesday. No post-game Saturday night. Sunday is Christmas Eve, so no regular show on Christmas Eve. The day after Christmas is the 26th, and there's a Thunder game. We don't have anyone scheduled on that one. We're not live again until next Wednesday, the 27th, with a group pod. We'll cover that Wolves game and the Knicks game on that back-to-back that Wednesday night. So nothing from us for 6 days. Honestly, we all kind of need a break too. But I think I speak for all of the uncontested team, for JD, for Nick, for Taylor, for Justin, for Kamiar, for myself, when I say we appreciate you guys an incredible amount. This podcast isn't possible without you guys listening, and the amount of love and support and interaction we've got from you makes it all worth it. The amount of friends we've made through this makes it all worth it. It's why we do it. We love you guys. We really appreciate you. We hope you have a great holiday season, regardless of what holiday you celebrate or if you celebrate at all. Enjoy it. Blessings to all of you. Thank you so much for helping make the Uncontested as successful as it has been. We're just 5 dudes with microphones who love basketball and have become really good friends throughout this process. And your guys' support literally means the world to us. Cannot thank you guys enough. Enjoy your holiday. Enjoy the hell out of this Thunder team because they are so much fun. We will be back Wednesday to hang out with you guys. So make plans Wednesday night after the conclusion of the New York Knicks game. Hop on the live stream. If you haven't hopped on the live stream before, sub to the YouTube channel. Come hang out with us. It's always a great and a fun time. We will talk to you guys soon. Enjoy your holiday. And as always, Thunder up.